back, everybody, to Awaken the Best You. I am your co-host, Anna Levin, and with us is your beautiful host, Misty Springer.
Thank you. Thanks for being here with me. I'm excited about this today.
I am so excited because today we are talking about a very, very important topic titled, Where Are You Shining Your Light?
Absolutely. Well, this is probably one of my most favorite things to talk about. I love, love, love this topic because it's so simple and yet it makes such a huge difference in the lives of women and the clients that I work with.
Yes, I love it. And we hear about this more and more now these days, about our light, our inner light, and let's just really dive right into what that mean. Does it mean to you personally? Like let's get to know Misty a little bit more intimately.
Absolutely. So where you shine your light, one of my favorite quotes, I use it all the time, is where you shine your light is what you will see, and what you see is the direction you'll go. And really it's about the energy that we show up in. And one of the, getting personal here, the one thing that I know for sure is that when I am shining my light from a place of positivity and understanding, then I'm able to attract that back. So I was for a long time just blaming my husband and thinking that he needed to make me happy, and I needed all of these things for him to do in order for me to be happy. And what I discovered was that all of my light was shining on what he was not. And that's for the place that I was coming from. And it wasn't until I started to take responsibility for my own energy that I was able to show up in love and really feel that love. And that's what came back to me. It was everything that I wanted, but I was waiting for somebody else to give it to me. And I needed to find that within myself. And so that's what I work on with all of my clients, is coming from this place of love for ourselves and what a difference that makes in what we get back.
Yes, I completely agree. I mean, what I'm hearing you say that clearly as I can see you right now is the component of being responsible for ourselves, responsible for whatever we feel, but then also with a dose of self-love, not judging ourselves, but rather saying like, wow, I really am expecting somebody else to make me feel complete, to make me feel beautiful, to make me feel safe, right?
Yeah.
So that's really huge because I think a lot of us that's what we do, and change doesn't happen, and then so we go through life just pointing fingers as opposed to taking responsibility. So how does one increases the self-responsibility and self-awareness?
I think, first of all, it is that awareness. It's being aware. So one of the stories that I love to tell that just illustrates this so well is my daughter was on a really amazing track team, kind of on a dream team. She had the opportunity to be on this track relay team. They went to state. They were doing really, really well. And two of the girls were seniors. So this was like a one-time opportunity. Like this is going to be this record-breaking team. And right before, like two meets before they went to the finals, my daughter was beat out by somebody else. And so she got bumped off the team. So this team she had been a part of, she suddenly was out, and it devastated her. And she had one opportunity to get back onto the team. She had to do a 100-yard dash. And so we talked to her about, let's visualize, let's go think about how you're going to run this race and how you're going to show up. And it was so hard for her to do that. All she could think about was, what if I don't make it? What if I trip and fall? What if I don't get the time that I need? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not fast enough? And those were the thoughts that she could focus on so easily. I mean, just naturally, we go there, right? All of us do.
Absolutely.
And my question to her was, But Aubrey, what if you do? The truth of the matter is, you could just as easily run the best race of your life. You could just as easily cross the finish line in the time that you want. You could just as easily show up exactly the way that you had envisioned. And yet all of her energy, all of her focus, all of her thought was going on everything that she was afraid she wouldn't be. And isn't that what we all do?
We all do it.
We all do it. And it's so easy for us to see everything that we're not and everything that we lack. And so where we shine our light is what we see, and what we see is the direction we go. So if we're just afraid of everything that we're not and focused on, I'm not showing up in this way, and I wish I was better at this, and I'm not as good as so-and-so, then that's the direction that our energy takes us. And we need to switch that energy into something that's more positive.
I love it. And really all that practice, goes back a little bit also is we're cross-pollinating, like I like to say with you, with the past episode, which was more about also self-love and that practice, because if we continue to practice, what does it mean and what does it look like to come from a place of love as opposed to a place where it seems like, to me, even because children do it, that means that there's something about us human beings that we come in already with this negativity in our brains. And so we need to learn to handle this better and have a better control of this so that we can live the lives that we can live.
And I love what you said about practice and giving ourselves the grace to practice, because it is a practice. And that's a whole other episode that we could do, is why it is that we are naturally hardwired to look at the negative. We are hardwired to look at the negative. But what we can do is that doesn't mean that we are destined to look at that negative. It means that we have an opportunity to become aware of those thoughts. And once we can become aware of them, we can see them for what they are, so we're not controlled by them. It's those unconscious thoughts that are running in the background of I'm not good enough that start to control how we show up in the world. And
do you agree?
For what they are, we can do something different.
Yes, I agree 100%. I was just, as you were speaking, I was remembering this conversation also with my son, who, like teenagers go through so many changes and, and preteens and all that. I mean, I think most of us adults don't ever want to go back to that age, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's also very representative of, life is change, first of all. Life is ever changing. Even ourselves, our bodies, our hair falls off, it gets great. I mean, so I was just thinking about that, and how I was telling my son, and I was feeling that I was talking to myself. It was really insightful. I was telling him, you are not your experiences. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that. Because I believe that we don't shine our light sometimes in the right direction, because we start to believe that we are the experience. Oh my gosh, but I failed, Mom, in the other 100-meter dash race.
Right. Yeah.
But that was the other one. This is a different one. And also we can speak of shining the light into what we want to do, and then all of a sudden getting another gift because we shone the light in that direction, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes when we shine the light, what we expect to get out of it is not necessarily what happens, and we are pleasantly surprised or not. It just we attract what we get back, or we attract what we give out. So if we're giving out, we're responsible for our energy. I don't need to control my husband or my daughter. I don't need to control their energy. I don't have to force them to feel a certain way, or I don't have to force her to win the race, right?
Right.
My responsibility is to show up in love for her, and to show up in the energy of love and acceptance, and then she's able to experience that back.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that, again, love, and not to be so repetitive, but it is true. Love is really what melts all those fears, and it helps us reprogram our thoughts little by little. And then all of a sudden, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years from that moment, we are in a different trajectory because we have been practicing this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love so much about you. Are so generous with your free consults and discovery calls that you have, because even in those, in one time that somebody can help you shed some light, no pun intended,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
then we start to see ourselves in a more real way, right? In a more
Yeah.
authentic way.
Well, and I had one lady share with me, she's like, I've gotten more out of one 45-minute discovery session than I've gotten out of 10 years of therapy, because it is really just getting clear on what are those thoughts and those beliefs that are stopping you from moving forward. And when you get clear on that, that is powerful. That is powerful information that you can use to show up and make conscious decisions. You can become a powerful creator in your own life rather than being run by these unconscious beliefs that maybe you're not even aware of. Maybe they've just been running in the background. You don't even know they're there. So the discovery session is an opportunity to get really clear on what those beliefs are that are stopping from.
That is such a great, it's that great point that you're making, the not being aware, because I was just thinking about that. It's so true, because people sometimes they want something to change, but they really have no clue. Mm-hmm. What is it? It's like something is off in my life. I feel depressed, or I don't feel fulfilled, but they don't really know where to
mm-hmm.
go. I've been in that place too. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's where we were talking about this before. That's where healing happens, is in connection. It's this morning, you know, the past 2 days, I was working through some emotions and feelings, and that's the thing, is it's not that once you start to shine your light that everything is beautiful and happy and you constantly you're doing this. It's just that the dips become smaller, and you're able to work through them a little bit more quickly and have the tools to do so. So I was in a little bit of a funk, and the tools that I use to get out of it are the same tools that I teach my clients. Get quiet, get centered on what I truly want, tap into that best version of me, and get support. And that's exactly what I took myself through to get out of that funk, and start moving forward and showing up as the woman that I know that I want to be and that I'm meant to be.
Yes.
And that's a process that's powerful.
I love it. And we all love somebody that actually walks their talk, right? So I love, and I do the same thing in with my healings, you know, because it's true. We cannot give 100% of ourselves if we don't own and are responsible with ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
That's so beautiful, so powerful too. So can you please tell us how women can take advantage of you? I like to say that. I say that with love.
Well, I'm absolutely honored to have a conversation with just with a woman who feels like she's stuck, like she knows that she is not showing up as her best self. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know. All she feels is the pain. She feels the frustration, the discouragement, the feeling of being out of alignment, and she knows that there's something better. She just doesn't know how to get there. And that's what the discovery session is all about. It's just a conversation to get a little bit more clarity on what that is and what you want and what's stopping you from having that. And that clarity is really, really powerful. So you can find access to that on my website. If you scroll down to the bottom of my homepage, there's a little box that says, sign up for a free discovery session with me. Or you can find me on Instagram or Facebook, Misty Springer Wellness, and message me, and we'll set up a time that works for both of our calendars.
I love it. I hope that the listeners are really taking in this opportunity, because guys, if you feel in your heart that something is off, hold on to that speckle, of hope that you have inside, and reach out, because there's a lot of us waiting to help. Misty here, unbelievable. And I thank you for being there for people. And this is how we change the world. I truly believe that, one person at a time, because we all gonna reach thousands others, right?
Mhm,
So a pleasure
My
talking.
goal.
Yes, yes. It's a pleasure talking to you again today. I cannot wait to see what other subjects we're going to cover in the Awaken the Best You. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you,
All
Miss.
right. Sounds great. Thank you.
Bye.